Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Tech Tutorial Tuesday. Today we'll be covering some features of Chrome, specifically clearing your cache and your cookies. The main feature of Chrome we'll be covering today is how to clear your cache and your cookies. Now some of you may already know what a cookie is, some may not. So for those that don't know, a cookie is basically just a small file that a website will create for you every time you visit to try and better your experience next time you're on that site. So these cookies will do things like store your login information, your site preferences, your clicks, and try to give websites more relevant data to show you as you're browsing. Cookies aren't necessarily a bad thing, but since Chrome stores them, they do build up over time, and as they start to build up, they can start to negatively impact the software that we use. So you might get some error messages in Yardi and Entrada that you don't recognize, and some of those error messages can be caused by the buildup of these cookies or a full cache. So it's good procedure to clear them out every couple weeks to avoid any of those issues. Now there are two different ways that we can get to our clearing data tabs. The first one is in the top left here under our back button. If we left click and hold, it'll bring up a short little preview of our browsing history, and we can go ahead and click show full history to bring up a full list. Now mine has nothing under it because of a couple takes of recording here, but you'll start to see more and more browsing history here as you start to use your Chrome more. Under the clear browsing data tab here, if we go ahead and click that, it'll bring up our clearing options, one being basic and one being advanced. Today we'll use the basic option just because that's the minimum of what you'll need to do when clearing your data, and it is the quickest way to do it. So our first thing that we'll need to set here is our time range. So right now it's set to all time, but you do have the option to set it to a couple different options here. I would suggest using all time because it will clear out all your cache data and all your cookies instead of just doing it in a certain time frame. And then below here you'll have your three check boxes of things that you can clear. So you have the option of clearing your browsing history and auto completions in the address bar. You have your cookies, and then you have your cached images and files. So at a minimum here, you'll want to select these two, and you also have the option to also include the browsing history in there as well. So when we have that all set, you can click clear data, and depending on how much you have stored right now, it'll take either a split second like that, or it will take up to a minute. But just like that, you are all done with clearing your cookies and cache data. Now we'll go ahead and exit back out of these two tabs, and the second way that you have the option to access that is up here in the top right under these three dots. You can click that, scroll down to history, and then click the top history button here. That'll bring up your history again, and now it's blank because we just cleared it. But then over here you still have your clear browsing data tab, and all you have to do is click that and it'll bring you back to the same spot. Now we just use the basic clearing method. There's also advanced here, and really the only difference is it will give you a couple different more options of things that you can clear. So we still see we have our browsing history, we have an added download history checkbox here, so of items that you've downloaded from Chrome. You still have your cookies and your cached images and files. And then we also have some more options down here: passwords and other sign-in data, autofill form data, site settings, and then hosted app data. So essentially the advanced option does the same thing, just gives you a few more options to use. Now while you're in these settings here, you also have a couple different settings that you can take advantage of. Under search engine, you can set the default search engine for your address bar. So when you're searching things up in your address bar here, you can default Chrome to use a certain search engine. So mine is set to Google, but you do have some more options here to select. Under default browser, you can make Chrome your default browser if you'd like. And then also you have a startup tab here where you can select things when you start up Chrome, what will appear. So right now, if I wanted to continue where I left off, so if I exited Chrome right now, and I had this option selected, next time I open Chrome, it would bring me back to my same tabs that I have up. Right now I have mine set to open a specific page or set of pages. So I have my Gmail, I have Yardi, and then I have Entrada to come up. So if we were to exit out of Chrome right now and go back to the desktop, go Jets. If I click the Chrome symbol down here and open Chrome back up, you'll see that it comes up to my 3 set pages. So we have my Gmail, my Yardi, and then Entrada. So you can set this to as many tabs as you'd like, or as little tabs as you like, and just better your experience when you actually start up your Chrome. That wraps up this episode of Tech Tutorial Tuesday. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.